as he kissed her goodbye with...
Ian Phoenix was in charge of a counter-terrorism group dedicated to bringing peace to Northern Ireland. He was a husband and a father.
He was a real Irishman. He had the twinkly Irish eyes. He enjoyed a good joke. He liked a good glass of wine.
Susan Phoenix first heard of the accident that killed her husband on her car radio.
I was just driving along going, no, no, no. I can still see it. I can still feel it, even 30 years on.
On the 2nd of June 1994, the Chinook helicopter that was taking them to a peace conference crashed into the side of a mountain on the Mull of Kintyre, killing 4 crew and 25 of the country's top counter-terrorism experts. At a board of inquiry, the Ministry of Defence concluded there was no doubt whatsoever the accident had been caused by the gross negligence of the 2 pilots, Flight Lieutenants Richard Cook and Jonathan Tapper. But there was doubt. Plenty of it.
Something had gone badly wrong because they flew into the side of a mountain, but they were trying to the very last to pull up the nose and they couldn't. So there is no doubt there was something wrong with the craft.
There were no eyewitnesses on that foggy night, no flight data recorder, no voice recorder. It took until 2011 for the Ministry of Defence to admit they had not a shred of evidence. The Defence Secretary at the time, Liam Fox, exonerated the pilots and apologised to their families.
I have written to the widows of the 2 pilots, to the father of Jonathan Tapper and to the brother of Richard Cook to express the Ministry of Defence's apology for the distress which was caused to them by the findings of negligence.
But if the pilots didn't cause the crash, what did? At the time of the crash, systematic errors in the software that controlled the engines had been reported. In fact, the MOD were in a legal dispute with the manufacturers of this software, a fact that wasn't shared with the inquiry. David Hill was an aeronautical engineer for the MOD at the time. He says the MOD had seen its safety budget slashed in the run-up to the accident.
But the evidence doesn't lie. People do. We've got hard copy reports, documents saying the aircraft is not airworthy. You are not permitted to fly it.
In a statement, the Ministry of Defence told GB News, in 2010, the Mull of Kintyre independent review was carried out and the findings were fully accepted. The review did not find new evidence to suggest mechanical failure, and no safety issues with the Chinook Mark II were raised in the report. This weekend, the families have formed the Chinook Justice Campaign. But justice may never come. The MOD's file on the accident has been locked away and can't be made public for 100 years.
Why would you lock up a document unless it was going to incriminate somebody? It just does not make sense.
To the families, it smacks of a cover-up at the very top of the establishment. They're hoping they can persuade the MOD to unlock the files, unlock the secrets, so they can finally know what happened on that foggy mountain 30 years ago. Jeff Moody, GB News.